as Go, Go. Loser Ranger, Yostar Pictures biting satire of the Super Sentai genre, charges through its second season in spring 2025. Episode 7 deepens the Green Battalion arc, exposing the moral rot beneath the Dragonkeeper's heroic facade. Titled We Are the Monster Protection Society, and released on May 25, 2025. This episode centers on Fighter D's fraud alliance with Yumiko Suzukiri as they confront the Green Keeper, Chidori. I found myself electrified by its raw intensity, yet unsettled by its narrative detours, prompting a review that unpacks its subversive energy and structural flaws. Following episode SIX's revelation that Chidori is the Green Keeper, episode 7 picks up with Fighter D, Hibiki Sakurama, and Yumiko reeling from their defeat by Chidori's overwhelming power. As they regroup, Yumiko reveals her vendetta against the Rangers, rooted in her brother's death, while Hibiki grapples with Chidori's identity as his mentor. The episode introduces the Monster Protection Society, a rogue group shielding dusters from Ranger exploitation, complicating Hibiki's mission. A tense standoff with Chidori escalates, but Hibiki hesitates to strike, haunted by their bond. Meanwhile, Canon Hijui uncovers Red Keeper's role in concealing Megasha's schemes, hinting at deeper corruption. The episode ends with Hibiki vowing to expose Chidori, teetering on the edge of betrayal. Episode 7 propels the Green Battalion arc by intensifying Hibiki's conflict with Chidori, a major turning point that redefines his rebellion against the Dragonkeepers. The Monster Protection Society's introduction adds a factional wrinkle, suggesting not all oppose the Rangers' tyranny, while Canon's discovery of Red's cover-up ties the arc to the season's broader conspiracy. The episode fulfills its role by escalating personal and systemic stakes, raising questions about Chidori's motives and the society's endgame while leaving Megasha's fallout unresolved. The pacing is uneven, with taut action sequences undercut by expository flashbacks, which I think disrupts the narrative flow. The society's late introduction feels abrupt, cramming too much into the episode's climax, but the standoff with Chidori maintains urgency, keeping the plot engaging despite its detours. Hibiki is the emotional linchpin, and I really appreciate how his hesitation to fight Chidori reveals a conflicted loyalty, deepening his complexity beyond defiance. Yumiko's backstory, her brother's death at Ranger hands, grounds her rage, though her single-minded vengeance risks overshadowing her nuance, which I didn't like. Chidori's duality as a mentor and tyrant is intriguing, but his limited screen time constrains his arc, leaving his motives opaque. Canon's sharp pragmatism shines through her investigation, showing consistent cunning, though her role feels secondary. The Monster Protection Society's members are thinly sketched, serving as plot catalysts. Hibiki's actions align with his moral turmoil, and his resolve to expose Chidori marks growth, while Yumiko's vulnerability hints at potential redemption. I anticipate Chidori's past with Hibiki will take center stage to enrich their dynamic. The episode probes themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the illusion of heroism. Hibiki's bond with Chidori tests loyalty against justice, while Yumiko's vendetta critiques blind allegiance. The Monster Protection Society challenges the hero-villain binary, exposing the collateral damage of Ranger supremacy. Red's deception reinforces the theme of corrupt heroism, questioning institutional trust. I think the episode conveys these themes sharply, using Hibiki's hesitation to highlight loyalty's moral weight. However, the betrayal theme feels somewhat formulaic, echoing Season 1's arcs, and the society's idealism lacks depth, risking oversimplification. A more layered portrayal could have amplified the critique. The episode expands the Go, Go, Loser Ranger, * world with the Monster Protection Society, a clandestine group protecting dusters, suggesting a wider resistance to Ranger oppression. Canon's findings hint at a conspiracy within the Divine Artifacts Management, enriching the power structure. The Green Battalion's brutal training grounds add a layer of institutional cruelty. I find these additions provocative, though I wish the society's origins were teased to anchor their role, as their sudden appearance feels jarring. The dialogue is gritty, with Yumiko's raw "they took everything, my brother, my trust" delivering emotional punch. Hibiki's halting exchange with Chidori, "You taught me to fight, but for this?" is poignant, but the society's idealistic rhetoric feels cliched, undermining their credibility. The writing excels in tense standoffs, but I personally don't understand why it leans on flashbacks to explain Yumiko's motives, as this stalls momentum. The script's reliance on action to resolve conflicts overshadows subtler character beats, but its subversive edge keeps it compelling. Yostar Pictures' animation is dynamic, with fluid choreography in the Chidori standoff, where Hibiki's dodges weave through collapsing structures. Facial expressions, like Hibiki's pained grimace, convey turmoil, though crowd scenes rely on stills, likely budget-driven. Keiichi Sato's direction emphasizes tension, using low-angle shots of Chidori to amplify his menace and tight close-ups on Hibiki's eyes to capture doubt. The editing falters in flashback transitions, with abrupt cuts that disrupt pacing, which I didn't like. like. Yoshihiro Ike score, with Orange Range's Majida Sekai Kacho 5 Bayu Mei opening energetically, sets a rebellious tone. A tense synth pulse during the standoff amplifies dread, while Fukuro's Seiji closes reflectively. Episode 7 evokes tension, empathy, and frustration. Hibiki's conflict with Chidori is gripping, stirring sympathy, while Yumiko's grief adds somber weight. The society's defiance sparks intrigue, though their underdeveloped role tempers resonance. The standoff's climax, with Hibiki frozen before Chidori, is the most impactful moment, lingering as a testament to loyalty's cost. I think the episode leaves a strong impression, its emotional stakes resonant but its pacing issues distracting. It prompts reflection on the price of betrayal and the fragility of trust. The episode's core philosophical lesson is that loyalty can blind one to systemic corruption, demanding painful betrayal for justice. Hibiki's struggle with Chidori reflects the tension between personal bonds and moral duty, urging viewers to question authority and confront uncomfortable truths for change. Episode 7 of Go! Loser Ranger. Season 2 is a tense and emotionally charged chapter, with strengths in Hibiki's conflicted arc, Kobayashi's standout performance, and the subversive themes of corrupted heroism. The Monster Protection Society and dynamic visuals enrich the world, but uneven pacing, cliched dialogue, and underdeveloped factions blunt its impact. I think the episode achieves its goal of escalating the Green Battalion arc, but its narrative detours make it a compelling yet flawed installment, falling short of Season 1's highs. Looking ahead, I anticipate the arc will delve into Chidori's motives and Red's conspiracy, potentially tying the society to Hibiki's rebellion. Go! Loser Ranger remains a sharp satire, and I'm hopeful it can streamline its focus for a blistering finale.